SUNYAC Women's Tennis Championship. Tom DiCamillo here, joined by Emmy Lewis to my immediate left and Lindsay Haley, both from New Paltz. New Paltz 5-1 winners over Plattsburgh today. Both players, Emmy won at second doubles, Lindsay won at third doubles. Lindsay, you got your fifth singles match, and so you were one of the deciding matches at singles, 6-1, 6-0, correct?
Yes.
And Emmy, you were 6-1, 5-1, is that what it was?
Sir.
So almost had that one done. So let's talk a little bit about the match today. Yesterday, pretty workmanlike, went through. This one, little battle at first doubles over here. Both teams played really well. Plattsburgh took that one. So how important was it for you in your doubles to make sure that you got those points?
I think the best thing that we could do as teammates, especially on the court, is to take our time. Make sure that we're taking each point by point, not thinking game by game, because this is a very mental sport. So you got to make sure to keep a level head on your shoulders. So when you're playing a team like Plattsburgh, who is not going to give you any points, they're going to fight for it, and they're in this just as much as we are. We got to make sure that we can't think, oh, we're going to immediately win this. We got to make sure that we know to keep a level head.
Lindsay, do you try not to get ahead of yourself when you're in matches like this?
Yeah, definitely. We knew Plattsburgh was going to be a fight today, so we all came in mentally prepared, and we've all gotten a lot better at doubles, so I think we were ready.
I've asked each of the athletes during the course of the weekend the same question. It's amazing the different responses. When you're playing this format, this race to 5, as opposed to the regular season, do you take a peek at what's going on around you? And especially if you're playing second doubles, you're sandwiched between two other ones where you're on the end, so it's harder for you to see. But do you take a look?
No, I peek every switch. I always look, and I'm always trying to keep up and get that deciding match win. Yeah, no, I look all the time.
As for me, I definitely look, although, Coach would much rather us pay attention to what we're doing. But, it's a great way to keep the team together, because if anything, if someone is, not doing so well on their part, we know to give them the support that they need.
Both of you can answer this question. Talk about the difference between playing the regular season matches where you finish them to where this is this is the race to 5. And as you go through the bracket, how does that pressure build?
I think it's a little less pressure, actually, just because you kind of rely on your teammates. You're like, okay, even if I'm in a tough match, hopefully my team pulls through and they win, even though if I'm going slow or if I have a tough match.
Just as you said, it kind of leaves a little more room to see, it doesn't necessarily have to be, first singles, second singles, third singles. It can be anybody at wide range at this point.
Talk about the difference. It's funny, your perspective on that's really interesting. I would imagine a lot of athletes would feel that way. Most of them felt the pressure, and this was a little bit more. So, but looking at it, when I would ask the question, I kind of expected more often than not your answer. So it was really good perspective. The other question I asked is, talk about the difference between playing inside and outside.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear your question. What are the differences? Because it's interesting, the different answers that we've received.
Okay. I love inside way better. I've always trained inside. I'm just used to inside.
Why is it better for you?
Just the elements really can get to, on any day, if the sun's not good, it can totally mess up your game. The wind, it's you always, outside you always gotta have a different strategy going in. Inside it's always the same, you know what you're gonna expect.
I love playing inside because I know the ball is gonna be definitely faster, even though wind pressure and sun and heat and cold is going at you, especially if you're outside, but I feel so much more comfortable inside. Also, overheads don't get to as much because they hit the ceiling, but playing inside I feel is a lot more better to do.
Yeah.
Is it a different environment inside having, they talk about in the sports of basketball, volleyball being inside and everything's more focused, where when you're outdoors with baseball, football, it's kind of spread out because it's open. Do you feel that kind of difference in terms of you have people down here watching through the glass, you have people out there? Is there more of a focus? Do you feel that?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's true.
I definitely also agree with that because, outside your attention is distracted by everything, whether it's a bird, the sun, the cars, people walking, and inside it's more concentrated and focused. This is the tennis court, this is what we're here for. Here we go.
Do you alter your game plan or how you play? Whether you're playing inside or outside, or do you have to, or do you try not to, but maybe it does happen?
I try not to, but I always take it into consideration because especially this season we've played on a lot of windy and sunny days, so we've had to take pace off the ball and take all that into consideration. But inside, like, we could hit a little faster, we can do a little things differently. So we try not to, but like it helps sometimes.
So the last question I have for you is, now you get a chance to relax till tomorrow. You've been chasing Geneseo the last few years. Your coach has changed some of the routines, he said, this year. Bus routes, practices, different things.
Yes.
Talk about sort of the changes. You don't have to be specific about the changes, unless you want to be, but talk about how that's maybe changed, just how the team looks at the season compared to what you've done in the past.
Well, I definitely think that if anybody has noticed that we meditate before we do any of our warm-up, which is a really great way to keep our heads in the game, kind of think about what we want to focus on, what we want to do during our matches. Maybe it's focusing on our footwork, make sure that we keep our feet moving, whether it's making sure that we can hit that second serve properly, or make sure that, you know, we're a little more enthusiastic or confident in the point play that we're doing. I definitely think that's been very helpful this season.
For you, Lindsay?
Yeah, this year it was just a whole different feel. We all came in like really ready to go, really fired up. A little more so than last year. I think we've always wanted to win, but this year it was just like an extra, like we all really want it. And yeah, everything's differently. We all train, I think, a little harder. We all do practice harder. We all are really focused. Yeah, it's just doing it differently has worked so far. So.
Did that focus help you sort of, you know, to get to the championship match again, you still got to win 2 rounds. So does that focus help saying, okay, we've been there the last couple of years, not to take anything for granted and skip those rounds?
We take it match by match. We know that, and we know that these teams aren't going to be easy. You know, they're going to make us fight for it. So we always go in like with everything.
They're here just as they want to be here just as much as we do. So if anything, it's a courtesy to them to make sure that we give them the fight that they want in order to move on to the next round, be that as that may. We're all here. We're all here. We all want to be here.
Yeah, we all want it.
Well, congratulations again, Emmy Lewis, Lindsay Haley, 5-1 winners. New Paltz over Plattsburgh. Tomorrow will be the championship round, so good luck tomorrow. Thank you. Congratulations. We're going to bring your coach in here.
Okay.
Rob Bruley, come on in, Rob.